Okay, so we're going 1-7 again. You guys, why I told you we were going to do 17, hopefully you were writing it down.
I did.
Thank you.
I wasn't here. What?
Tyson, have you been in here the last 5 minutes?
Not mentally. Oh, no.
That doesn't count. Okay, so your matrix, your augmented matrix on 17 should be 2, -1, 3, -2,
The thing's not.
and, okay, 1, 1.
Oh, wait, do we not have to put a Z's in this one?
There isn't any. It's only XY. It's a 2. It's a 2 by 2.
I don't need one of these?
Nope. If you put your Z's, you're just going to make more work for yourself. Does that make sense? Okay, so my goal, this isn't a 3 by 3, it is a 2 by 2, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm 1, 0, 1, 0. Nothing's going to change. Yes? You were going like this.
I was scratching my head.
Oh, okay. Nothing is going to change what I want to do. Now, do you guys, I look at it and see this -1 right here, and I know I want a 1 right here, so I want to swap row 1 and row 2. Make sense? Do I have to? No. But my brain goes, hey, that's a 1 there. Why not? Could it save me some time maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to take R1, R2. And -1, -2. Okay, so that I got that. So I need to get the 0 right here. So this 2 needs to be a 0. That 2 is in column 1, so I need to use which row? Row 1. So I need this 2 to be a 0. What is the only thing I can add to 2 to get to 0?
-2.
-2. So can I make 1 -2? Can I make -1 into -2?
Yes.
Multiply by what?
2.
2. It's already negative.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to 2 R1 plus R2. Riley, does that make sense why I wrote that?
Yeah, because the 2 you got from to get to the 0.
Yes. And it says I'm going to multiply row 1 by 2 and add it to row 2.
Now I understand that.
So -1, -2, 1. So I'm doing this all in my head. If you need to do it on a side piece of paper, do it on a side piece of paper. I'm not going to. So that's why I touch it, so my brain can do it. So 2 times -1 is
-2.
plus 2,
0.
0. And that was the goal, correct?
Okay, Miss Mick.
Finish out the step. What's your question? Stopping in the middle of a step is not very good, but go ahead.
I don't even know how to ask this question.
What's your question?
I don't.
She doesn't know how to
Explain
ask
it.
it.
Just keep going and see if I can get the hang of this.
Okay. So next time you guys have a question, let's finish the step before you stop, okay? Because part of the problem why we're not getting it is because we keep having to do what? Stop. Okay, so then 2 times -2 is
-4.
plus 3,
-1.
-1. I thought you were tipping back the way you're sitting. Okay, 2 times 1,
2.
plus 1, 3. Carly.
So, like, when you're doing the thing, like, the steps are, like, the 2R1 plus row 2 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
do you have to change the last row too?
The only thing that is changing is this row. This row becomes the result of this. This statement right here says, I did this I did this to get this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, I did this and it got me this. That's what that statement says. That's all it says.
I just get confused on how it changes to 3. Because row 2, I don't know how it can't went from 1 to 3.
Okay, 2 times 1 is what?
2,
Plus 1 is what?
3.
3.
Oh,
2R1 plus R2.
never mind.
If you need to, off to the side, go -2, -4, 2, can you do that? Yes. I'm not stopping you, but I'm not going to do it. That's why I do one thing at a time.
Okay, Miss Big, I have how to ask this question.
Okay.
Okay, so you, or maybe I don't. Okay, so you have, so say you had R1 plus 3R2.
Okay.
How would you do that?
You would have to multiply both of them and combine them.
So you would multiply 2.
You'd take 2 times, like if I had 2R1 plus 3R2.
Yes.
Okay? I hate what ifs. Okay, if I had that, I would have -2 and 6. I would have -4 and 9. I would have 2 and 3. It says right here 2R1 plus 3R2. It literally, and that's the appropriate use of the word, says what you're doing. There's no,
And then you would add them together?
you would
Or-
combine them.
Or combine them?
Yes,
Okay.
that's it.
That's how I got myself confused.
Okay, so do I got a 0 where I wanted it?
Yeah.
Yep, so now what do I need to do? Work on what?
That's
The other 0. Okay, now I could multiply this. Actually, I already have a -2, yes?
Yes.
Could I multiply row 2 by a -1 and make it positive? Is it going to have to be positive when I'm done?
Yes.
Yeah, do you guys want to stop and do that now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Making row 1.
now,
Positive, right?
what?
Making row 2 positive.
Yep, so how are we going to make row 2 positive?
You have to have a negative.
Times by 1/2.
No,
One.
mess up our
Negative.
Negative, just negative R2, right? What's in front of there that I didn't write? A 1. So did row 1 change? Nope. So I get 0, 1, -3, right? Okay, now I need to work on that too. So what do I need to do to this 1? Now sometimes you do have to multiply both rows, but it's a 1, right? So what do I need to do with this 1 to get it to 0 out that -2?
Times it by 2.
Times it by 2. So we're going to take 2R2 plus what? R1. Again, the only one that is changing is the one that you write second. If you wrote R1 plus 2R2 and did what we're going to do, it is wrong. What is the one that's changing? The second one, always. And that's why we always write it next to the second one, the second stated row. Okay, you guys do it. I want to see if you can accomplish it.
2 R's. So the 2 in the front of the R2, would that be the second row?
Yeah, that's why it
Like
says
times by 2.
R2 means row 2. I think you're trying to overthink it, Curly.
No. Wait, so we.
Just attempt it. You're all in pencil. It's okay. Hopefully you wrote row 2 right away because you're not changing it.
Being row. What? 1?
No, row 2. You're not changing row 2.
So you write row 2 down.
Oh,
So you don't try to change
I
it.
got that right.
Well, that's good. Yes, Blaine.
What's the
Ah.
plus R1 do? Like,
No, that tells me you're going to take 2 times R2 and you're going to add it to row 1. That's it.
Oh.
So 2 times 0 is 0 plus -1 is -1. 2 times 1 is...
Confusing Jaden more.
I
I
get
got negative 4.
Jaden, what's 2 times 0?
Oh, I did these wrong.
-2.
Okay.
I timed it by the first row first.
Nope. That's why it's not next to the first row.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 times 1 is 2 plus -2 is what?
0.
0.
Oh.
2 times -3 is -6 plus 1 is -5. So we are close to reduced row echelon form. What do we need to do now?
Make the top one positive.
Make the top one positive. How am I going to make the top one positive?
multiply it by negative.
Negative
R1.
R1. So 1, 0, 5.
Can you move your paper up? Thank you.
You're welcome. Oops.
Wait, how'd you get?
So if it's like just a 2-row thing, do you just have to have the 2 ones across from each other? And
You have to have the diagonals
Yeah.
be 1 and the other, everything else. Okay, so am I done?
Yes.
Yes. So x, y, what's x? 5, what's y?
Negative 3.
-3.
Yeah, I messed up.
I'm kind of starting to understand now.
Listen, man, you make it seem so easy, and then when I get to my house, I'm
Yeah.
paper.
Okay. 19?
Can we do 20?
Why?
Can we just
Because
them all?
it has a.
Okay, you guys set up 20.
I started 20.
Oh, it has a decimal. Well, you don't have to do 20, but yeah, it has 5.5.
Oh,
Last
Okay.
one we just did.
But Cole, we can do 20, but it's not assigned.
Yeah, it is.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is. Okay, we can do 20. Set it up.
Miss Mick, I have it already started, so I just put on a piece of paper. Because I know I did it wrong.
If you want, that's fine.
Actually, I
Okay, one of the things I would suggest you doing, guys, is if you think you're wrong, do not erase. Just start on a new column. Because what happens when you erase, can you still see what you wrote?
Yeah.
Yeah, and guess what you tend to do? What you just erased. And you all picked up a ton of paper, so write down your augmented matrix for 20. I'm waiting on you. Actually, I'm going to do it off camera.
I really don't think I did 20. Oh, yeah, I did.
Remember, double check your signs.
I think we go over like 21.
Guys, you got your augmented matrix? Okay. So I've got 4, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, -3, 1, -1, 1, 11 half.
That's wrong. It should be -4.
Nope, it should not be.
Why?
Why?
Why should it can?
Is it okay that I wrote 5.5 instead of
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
Because you have to line them over.
You have to line them up, and you have to move your x to the other side of the equal, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so do you need to really take some time and make sure you got it right before you start? Yep. That's another reason why I said okay on this one. Now, I didn't put 5.5. I don't want to deal with a decimal. Don't want to do it. Okay? So I did a fraction. How could I get rid of a fraction?
And
divided by
You
fraction.
the
Decimal.
You could do 5 and a
Times
half.
it by the reciprocal.
Times by the reciprocal. So could I multiply row 3 all by 2 if I wanted to? Yeah. Would I get rid of my fraction?
Uh-huh.
Would I get rid of a decimal?
Yeah.
Yep.
It also
Okay.
gets rid of our 1.
It does get rid of our 1.
But
But I'm not highly concerned about my 1 because if I move this, if I have 5.5, which is really 55 in the whole scheme of things, correct? So I have to be multiplying 55, and then I have to line up my decimals. Do I have a lot of room for error?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I change it into 11 halves and my first step, and some people would say I'm making this harder, but if my first step is 2R3, it got rid of my 1s, but I don't have a decimal and I don't have a fraction. I have a hard enough time adding and subtracting whole numbers. What am I going to do when I get the rest of them, right? Do I have better numbers?
Yes.
No, you guys could do it with 5.5. You could do it with 11 halves. There's nothing that says you have to do this. But the reason I do it is because I don't want to have to worry about lining up decimals. I won't have to worry about getting common denominators or any of that, would I? See that? Okay, so we want our goal 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. What form is that called? That RREF?
oh yeah.
Ref.
Reduced row echelon form. So the first step is to zero these two things out, yes? Now, question for you, do you want to keep them in the same place or do you want to move one of those rows to the top?
No, keep it in the same place. So you have the 1 there.
I like Cole's idea.
Okay, now anything I do here is going to change everything I do over here. Except for in row 1. So don't get fixated that there's a 1 over on the right hand side because it's not going to stay there.
Oh yeah, plus there's a 0.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do? You want
Put
to?
on both zeros. We could times it by -2.
Okay, so but we're on column what?
1.
1, so we should be using row 1.
Are you
Okay.
gonna make both of these zero at the same time?
Yeah, we're going to do it both at the same time. I'm asking you if you want to move one of these up to the first row
Yes, because then it will be.
because then you're multiplying one of them by 2 or -1 and you're not trying to deal with, or we can deal with what it is. You guys tell me.
What would be easier?
I think.
I might just stick it out. I'm multiplying by 2. I can do that.
Yeah, just take it out.
Okay, so if I've got to get those to be 0, row 1 is already a 4, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not obviously going to make it bigger. I'm going to make row 2 and 3 bigger, correct? So they're both positive, so they're going to need to be what? Negative. Now, do you want, I personally would say negative R1 plus 2 R2. And negative R1 plus 2 R3. Not saying you have to do that. My experience is when I put the negative in between, guess what people tend to do? They tend to mess it up. Yes.
So you got those 2's before the R from the 2's you squared?
Yeah, because I have to get them to be 0, and if I'm using row 1, they have to be a 4.
I think that's where I was messing up because I wasn't putting that number.
Right. Sometimes we try to be a 1, but it sometimes has to be something else. And I could have gone to 8. I could have multiplied one row by 2 and one row by 4, but that would be silly, wouldn't it? We want to keep it to the smallest number we can. Okay, so -1 times 4 would be -4, yes? Plus 4 is what? 0. Well, -0 is still what? 0. And then 2 times 1 is 2. So 0 plus 2 is 2. Are you having to keep numbers in your head for about 2 seconds? Yeah. Okay. -1, because of negative, right? And then 0 times 2 is 0. So -1 and 0 is -1. Then negative 1 times 0 is 0. And 2 times negative 3 is,
Negative 6.
so I get negative 6. Okay, now you guys try the next row. I'm going to pull mine down. This is where I say you do it and I'll do it. We'll hopefully get the same answer, right?
Oh,
Did you get negative 4, 3, 22?
Yes. Why did you get 2?
Because negative 1 plus 4. Because negative times 1 would be negative 1. 2 times 2 would be 4. So negative 1 plus 4.
So what are you doing with the 2r squared? Do you times it?
No, wait, I don't have a 2r squared.
2r3.
Okay, I'm multiplying row 3, that's the R3, by 2. So what this is right here, negative R1, so it'd be negative 4, 0, negative 1, 0. 2R3 would be 4, negative 4, 4, 22. The result of that would be 0, negative 4, 3, 22. Okay, so I got my zeros, yes? So I need to zero out what?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. So negative 4 is in the second column, so I need to be using what row?
Second.
Second row. So one's positive, one's negative already. Awesome, right? And now what is the smallest number that both of those both go into? 4.
So times the 2 by 2.
So times row 2 by 2 and add it to row 3. Am I going to change row 1?
No.
So I'm just going to write it down so I'm not tempted to change it. Now, when I first started teaching this, I was always tempted to change that row, those rows. So if I write them down, I'm not going to change them, right? Okay, you guys want to do it on your own again? Okay.
I did it correctly.
How do you like subtract the 22 and the negative 4? So I have everything else except negative 4, I think. Or the 0 and the 10.
Okay, so I would have positive 4, negative 4 is 0.
Oh, I'm trying to like go off the side and do like 2.
Are you doing this?
No, I was trying to do 2. I was going to row 3, but I was doing 2 times negative 4.
No, it's 2 times row 2. This is row 2.
Okay. Now
So-
I got.
Okay. Are we good, guys?
Yeah.
What's our next step?
Figure
Make
right out
that.
the 1 and negative 1.
And look at that. We're in an awesome position because we have all what in the third column? Ones. Okay. And row 1 is awesome because it's done, isn't it? Am I going to have to do anything to... I said row 1, I meant row 3. Row 3, am I ever going to have to touch row 3 again?
No.
No. if you start skipping around, you're going to start changing things and getting them where you want and then undoing what you just did. So if you always do this pattern, that doesn't happen. Okay, so these are in column 3, so I need to be using row 3. So what do I need to do to get this 1 to be a 0?
Times.
1.
Subtract 1.
So I want negative R3 plus R1. Now I know you could say R3 minus 1, but when you do that, historically, students will do wonderful with the 1, but then they forget to put it on what's over here. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So try to put the negative on the first one so you don't forget to do it. Now what am I going to do with these two to get rid of it? Do I have to do anything but combine them? I have negative 1 and 1 already. All I have to do is what?
R3 plus R2.
R3 plus R2. I don't need to do anything to them because they're ready to go. So do it.
God, I'm good. When you tell me what to do, and then I can do the math, right?
Now, when you guys watch this video, please let me know if it's still choppy. Hopefully it's not.
Are you even recording?
Miss Mason.
You can tell because the red dot in the corner.
Yes.
Are you sure about that one?
No, the red dot in the corner is from the camera. This camera.
No.
Yes, Jaden.
How did you get your numbers over here?
That I can't see your paper.
The like negative 10, 4, and 10.
Okay, so negative R3. So negative 10 plus 0 is negative 10.
Wait. Say what again?
This is negative R3 plus R1.
Yeah.
So negative 10
Oh.
plus 0.
Oh, okay. I'm dumb.
No, you're not.
That was
Matthew?
a brain.
Riley has a question.
No, I figured it out. It was the question on R3 plus R2, like, how'd you figure that out? But then I realized it was row 3.
Okay, so do I have my zeros where I need my zeros?
Yes.
Now I need to worry about the ones. So this 4 needs to be a 1. What do I need to multiply by?
Wait, does it matter?
1/4.
1/4. Woohoo!
Does it matter which ones you do? Like,
Wait. What do you mean?
like, does it matter what order you do the ones in?
Yes. Yes.
So like go diagonal.
Yes. Okay, what do I need to do with row 3 or row 2?
1/2.
1/2. Do I need to do anything with row 3?
No.
No. Now, since we started off with the 0.5, does it make sense that we're probably going to have a fraction?
Yeah.
Yep, and you better reduce it. And if you want to be technical, since they gave me a decimal the first time, I probably should give them the decimal the second time, but
Down to 0.
posh. What would it be, negative 3.5? How about 2.5? I'd rather. Now, we made our numbers bigger probably, but did we have to deal fraction or decimal or anything? No, we got enough stuff to worry about, right? So I've always tell you guys, if you don't like working with decimals, do you know how to eliminate their effect, like lessen their effect on stuff? Did I do that by multiplying it by 2 and taking that out of the problem?
Yes, Mick, I think I understand now.
I'm hoping. Okay, so I think we should spend the rest of the time you working on your own.
I'm gonna start looking at what?
Okay, I don't care.
My bad.
So I will, the assignment is correct on Classroom, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're again working on this assignment tonight. Hopefully we can come in with, like, Mrs. Mick, I could do all of them to this step. You got it? When you guys ask about one tomorrow, I'm going to ask you for your paper. And we're going to come up here and we're going to look at your paper. Okay? Yes. Because the way to fix it is to look at it and to go through the problem. If we have to go through every question starting from the very first step, are we ever going to get through any of these problems? No. Because they take 3 times, 4 times longer us doing them as a class as they would on your own. So, I'm not doing it to embarrass you. If you want to hand me your paper before class, and I won't tell you who it is, but we need to go through them and find them. I'm hoping that I will post the answers in Classroom. And what I mean answers is this. Just like this.
So you can check your work.
So you can check your work. I'm hoping I get time before I leave today, but we have a choir concert tonight. So if I don't get it done before I leave today, I won't get it done. Okay?
I have a message in the office
That's a lot
for
of time
Shelby
for it.
March.